everybody has had a past experience with a person or a situation that left a permanent scar on them, such that whenever we are reminded of this, the sadness or loneliness or pain associated with the memory comes back regardless of how much time has passed. If not, how can we heal ourselves from this past pain?
When you say everybody, that's a very sweeping statement. It's not true with everybody. Unfortunately, a lot of people are getting into that space. Fortunately, not everybody. I am not in the group. This doesn't mean that everything in my life happens just the way I want it. No. Very few things happen the way I want it. I want you to understand this. If you keep the scope of your life very limited, let's say just your education or your profession or your family, then maybe 90% of things happen your way, 10% of the things don't happen your way. But if you expand your activity globally, then you will see only 10% happens your way, 90% doesn't happen your way. So if you're the freaking kind, then you will break yourself down. So one thing we need to understand is that if mentally, emotionally, we are freaking out on something or the other, I want you to understand there is no complexities to this. To make it very simple, you are freaking whenever things don't happen the way you think they should happen. Hello? Do you understand this? Your only problem with life is, it's not happening the way you think it should happen. Hello? That's all. If it is not happening the way you think it should happen, maybe it is happening somebody else's way and somebody else is happy. Yes or no? And most of the people in the same breath, they say they believe in God, so maybe it's happening His way. So essentially, it's not happening the way you think it should happen. But look at the way you're thinking. 2 years ago, how you're thinking, and today how you're thinking. Is it the same? No. So you are glad those things didn't happen. But it takes 2 years to realize that I'm glad those things didn't happen. A whole lot of things don't happen. So what? The important thing is, how profound and how exuberant is your experience of life. Life is not that it must happen your way. If it happens your way, what does it mean? What is your way? Right now what you know, from that you concoct something which you call, this is my way, isn't it? Do you know everything in the universe? No. Whatever we may know, it is still very little, isn't it so? Hello? Whatever we may know, it is still very, very little. From this, we are expecting something should happen. You must be glad. Something you do not know happened. Something that you did not expect happened. This means life is happening to you. My blessing usually for people is, let something happen in your life that you could not dream of. That means your dream should not come true, that's all I'm saying. Something that you could not dream of, that must happen, that means you're living a fabulous life. But if something new happens that you did not think of, you will freak. Don't do that. Don't do that. New things are happening, something that you did not expect is happening. You should ride on that. See, there's only two ways. Life has its waves. If you have learned to ride the wave, in Canada you cannot ride, it's too cold. Suppose you were in California and you were riding the waves, you're a wave rider, your dream is a tsunami one day. Hello? Yes or no? If you're really good at riding the wave, what are you looking for? The biggest wave possible. But if you never learned how to ride, then you get crushed by the waves. Something wrong with the waves? No. You did not make yourself fit for life. That is what is wrong. Nothing wrong with life, it's happening. Are you fit for this world or not? This is happening all the time. You know, we are a volunteer organization. This is my lamentation, okay? Please listen to me a little bit. Millions of volunteers, lots of things happening around the world, big movements, but none of them are qualified for the job. Just whoever comes fills the space. I keep them up with enthusiasm and inspiration endlessly, but they don't know what to do. They're enthusiastic. You know, enthusiasm without direction, how much trouble it is to manage. And you cannot fire them because they're volunteers. You didn't hire them to fire them, first of all. So, this will be happening all the time. Somebody comes up to me and, Sadhguru, I can't work with this person, he's so terrible, she's horrible, she's that. I say, see, the world is full of such horrible people only. If you think, if you want to find something horrible, you can find something horrible in everybody. Just in everybody, without exception, yes or no? If you think what you're doing is significant, you learn to work with such horrible people. If you think what you're doing is very significant. But if you want to work with ideal people, you must go to heaven and today. So, at this stage in your life, young people, don't produce a list of complaints about what's wrong. Produce a list of solutions for me, let me see, to your life and everybody's life around you. That'll be a forward movement. If you invest on your problems, you will see everything in the universe is a problem, believe me. Tell me one person here who is not a problem in some way. If you encounter them the wrong way, each one of them is a problem, isn't it? Hello? So it is your skill in life that you approach them, the solution end of them, not the problem end of them. Yes, if you go on hitting people on their problem end, you will have endless problems in your life, because everybody is capable of trouble, everybody. Yes or no? Hello? Have you found one person who is not trouble if you touch them the wrong way? You found somebody like that? If you touch the trouble spot in them, everybody is a problem, isn't it? So you have to learn how to touch the solution part of them, not the trouble part of them. This goes with situations, this goes with people, this goes with every aspect of life.
Now I will share some practical ideas for life when it does not go where we want. Life has a mysterious way of unfolding, rarely in straight lines, rarely according to our plans. We imagine a clear destination, success, harmony, recognition, love, purpose, yet the road bends unexpectedly. Relationship break despite our sincerity. Career stalls despite our effort. Health fails without warning, and dreams dissolve in ways we never anticipated. When life refuses to go where we want, frustration, confusion, and despair often arise. At such moments, spirituality becomes not a luxury but an anchor, a perspective that brings meaning to chaos and restoration of the wounded heart. Spirituality does not promise a life without challenges. Rather, it reveals a deeper view of those challenges. It invites us to look beyond events and into the invisible force shaping growth, consciousness, and destiny. The following spiritual ideas do not deny pain or difficulty. They help us understand the unseen wisdom behind them, transferring suffering into awakening. First lesson can be life is a teacher, not an enemy. When circumstances resist our desires, we often assume we have failed or that life has turned against us. But a spiritual perspective suggests something radically different. Life is always teaching us. The situation we call obstacles are lessons disguised in the cloth of experience. Ancient wisdom tradition, from Vedas to Sufism, agrees that growth rarely arises from comfort. We evolve from friction, challenge, and uncertainty, just as pressure from diamonds and fire tempers metals. Adversity strengthens the souls. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? A spiritual seeker asks, what is this trying to teach me? Sometimes the lesson is patience, sometimes humility, sometimes resilience or self love. Sometimes it is a call to release old identities or outdated beliefs. The moment we shift from resistance to curiosity, suffering begins to soften. The universe redirects. It does not reject. When doors close or outcomes collapse, our ego interprets it as rejection. But many spiritual paths teach us that what appears as an ending is often a redirection. The universe moves us towards alignment even if the journey feels confusing. Think of a river. It may twist or split or flow through stones, but it is always moving towards the ocean. Likewise, our life unfolds in many ways we cannot predict. People, places, and opportunities appear and disappear, not by accident, but by the precision. What we label as failure is often a cosmic correction steering us towards something more authentic, something we would never have chosen from our limited perspectives. This idea requires a trust, not blind faith, but experiential trust. When you look back, you will notice that many events you once resisted led to unexpected blessing. Life is not chaos, it is choreography. The ego plans, the soul knows. A disappointment often arises from goal created by the ego. Desires shaped by comparison, fear, social validation, or illusion. The ego wants control. It wants guarantee and certainty. But the soul operates differently. It cares not about status, but for expansion. It prioritizes experiences that awaken consciousness, compassion, courage, creativity, and wisdom. When life does not go where we want, it may be because the ego's plan is too small. Our soul may be calling us towards something deeper, a vocation aligned with authenticity, a relationship grounded in trust rather than attachment, or a lifestyle shaped by meaning rather than ambition. The spiritual journey is not about erasing the ego, it is about placing it in service of the soul. When the ego insists, I know what should happen, suffering arises. When the soul whispers, I know what must happen, peace follows. Surrender is not giving up, it is aligning with reality. We are conditioned to believe that control equals strength. Yet, in spiritual philosophy, surrender is true power. Surrender does not mean passivity or resignation. It means releasing resistance to what already is. It is recognition that fighting reality drains us while accepting it liberates us. Consider the difference between a tree that bends in the storm and the one that refuses to move. The rigid tree breaks, the flexible one survives. Surrender is flexibility of consciousness. It is not the abandonment of desire, but the willingness to allow life to unfold without force. When we surrender, clarity emerges. When we stop pushing, genuine options reveals themselves. Surrender invites intuition. We discover that everything we need eventually arrives, but rarely in the form we have first expected. Pain is a portal, not a punishment. When life derails, emotional pain follows. Grief, guilt, anger, fear, emptiness, spiritual wisdom suggests that pain is not a punishment, nor is it a sign of spiritual failure. Pain is a gateway. It breaks the shell of the ego, exposing the truth of our inner being. Gateway, it softens arrogance and awakens compassion. It pushes us out of illusion and brings us face to face with what truly matters. A seed must crack for a tree to emerge. The cracking is not destruction, it is transformation. Likewise, the moment we feel broken, we often moments we are breaking open. Pain teaches self awareness, it shows us where we cling, where we fear, where we betray our own authenticity. When approached consciously, pain becomes medicine, not something to escape, but something to learn from. Comparison is still peace and destiny. Much frustration about life not going our way comes from comparing our journey with others. We assume that there is universal timeline for success, love, wealth, or recognition. But spirituality teaches us that each soul has its own curriculum. Some bloom early, some take times, some paths are straight, others spiral, some souls learn from relationships, other from solitude. To compare is to misunderstand uniqueness. A lotus grows in mud, yet it is no less divine than a rose growing in a sunlight. The conditions of our life are not mistakes. They are tailored by for our awakening. When we stop comparing, the journey becomes lighter. We realize that there is nothing wrong that being where we are, our path is sacred even when we misunderstood by others. What you seek may be hidden in what you resist. Gratitude changes the direction of energy. Conclusion. Trust the invisible architecture. When life does not go where we want, it is not a cosmic mistake. It is invitation to deepen our relationship with existence. Spirituality teaches that the universe is not random but intelligent, not against us but guiding us. We are not merely here to accomplish goals, we are here to evolve. Plans may fail, many people may leave, paths may shift, but life's deeper promise remains. Every moment has meaning, even when unseen. Every detour contains direction. Every challenge carries a whisper. Do not fear where you are. You are being shaped for where you are meant to be. Go up. The spiritual journey is not about controlling life, it is about awakening through it. And when we learn to trust the unseen, we discover that life always does where we need, even when it does not go where we want. Please note that these are our personal reflection on the topic discussed today and not the definite conclusion of what Sadhguru shared us today. Please consider us liking, giving a thumb up, and subscribing our channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.